Well, hi, welcome everyone for joining part four of the Let's Create a mimoLive document for extra hours workshop. Um, we have made quite some progress in the last workshop where we set up some submixes and got the picture-in-picture things filled, and all of that works quite nicely, except for that it stretches the resources of Alex's Mac Mini a little far. And so we've decided to try a different approach this time and use scripting to do the actual switching or the substitution of sources. Not sure how we're gonna do this. I think Ronnie has a sort of an idea about that. I'm not sure if he is able to join us and talk about what his idea is on how to do this. But we have Achim, and he is the scripting wizard of mimoLive because he's the wizard of mimoLive, and so scripting is also his thing. And so we hope we will be able um, to pull this off, which is also the title of this workshop. Can we pull this off? So to get us started, I'll hand things over to Alexander, and yeah, we're looking forward to all your questions and making another big push towards being able to do extra hours in mimoLive.
All right, just firing up the screen share now. So this is the template where we last left it. Now, the only changes that I made to this template were the lower thirds because we didn't have any real lower third graphics, so I sort of tried to make a bare bones one there. So this is kind of where we left it with all of these video switchers. So um, with respect to like what we're gonna do today, Oliver, where do you want to take this? Are we still going to go down the route of the video switchers, which are taking up a lot of system processor resources right now, or is there something else that you are we scrapping this? Are we what exactly do you want to do here?
I think one of the ways we could do this is we could set up like automation layers that basically assign a certain, source ID to a spot to a variable, and then the variable is used to set the source in the picture-in-picture layer to the proper person. So we don't have like all those video switches, but we have instead scripts that assign these source IDs to a variable and then to the proper spot
Right.
in the picture-in-picture. Achim, I think do you think that's a good way to do that, or do we have a different other idea?
No, I guess it is a good approach. Certainly, having IDs in variables makes life easier because you can name them, and in the code you can better read the code in a better way. So, yeah,
And should
Alexander.
I wanted to mention one thing because there was a recent beta update for Memo Live with some new features. Should I don't actually have that beta installed. Do I need it for what we're going to do here?
Um, I don't think so. I
Okay.
mean, we fixed some issues, but I don't think that
I
they
was just thinking
are
of that
so
new
major.
feature, that new checkbox you added. If you want to explain to people, I don't know if it's relevant, but that new with the ignore Zoom source thing.
I
Sure.
think I think it could be used for running the show, especially since we found out last workshop that the last workshop that wasn't dealing with the extra hours thing, we found out that this new feature is quite useful, and we can actually tie it to the tally light status of the source. So that is, going to be even more useful. And I mean, basically, we could set up the extra scripts also partly with this thing, but right now, I think having specific control of who is on the screen is more what in line with
I agree.
what's wanted there. So the only thing I think is we may do we use this document, Achim, or should we go and make another document, or should we just continue with this document because Alex has already set up all the layouts that he wants to use in extra hours. So I think maybe working here is a good thing.
I think so too. Um, so, Alexander, if you can go ahead and examine the layer stack again, so we can see what's below all the. Do we have all those video switchers and Syphon senders in the layer stack?
Yes, I believe I do. Just a second here. I think I just accidentally deleted something here. Okay.
At the bottom, yeah.
So I got lots of stuff in here.
Yeah.
So in
So
the
as my
video,
brother mentioned, those video switchers and the Syphon senders may overwhelm your computer. So we want to get rid of all those and use scripts to assign the sources directly to the spots
right? Okay.
in
Should
the
I just
layout.
delete? Should I delete them, or if I disable the live status, would that save system resources for now until we're confident we're ready to maybe leave the deletion to the end? Or
Yes, you can just switch off the layers so they do nothing at all.
And
okay, so
Alexandra,
it's
maybe save a version of this document before you do the changes, and then take the other one for the
uh
new approach.
that's a good point here.
I know.
So they have a duplicate.
Oh, leave
Uh,
them off, leave them off, leave them off.
leave them off. Okay.
Yeah, that's not the important part. You can easily turn those on, but if you delete stuff, it's difficult to get it back. So,
Okay, there we go. It's saved. Separate template. Okay, so I've turned
Okay.
off all the video switchers. What would be? I think that's it, right?
Yep, I guess so.
Yeah. So I can see the CPU is because the videos are still active. Yeah, I can see the CPU is still at 71%, so it's still fairly high. So I'm wondering if it has these siphon spots here. This would chew up system resources as well, right?
Only if we create new images for the Syphon. And this is happening in the layers, and you switched it off. So I guess there's no new extra uh, GPO
Because
performance.
I'm still
So
seeing very high. Like there hasn't really been much of a change in the CPU
yeah, that's
after
correct.
switching.
Actually, the most load system load is happening in the GPU with the Syphon layers, and this won't be reflected in your CPU meter. So I
Okay,
guess the
so
GPU is less
si-
active
says
than before.
62% right
I
now.
see.
So what I was expecting to see a drop in CPU resources. So what's taking up a lot of the CPU right now if the video is off?
well, for one thing, your screen grab, your screen share.
Yeah, well that's part of it. That's probably like 10 to 12%.
Yeah, and also like the seven or six Zoom sources taking up some resources. But I wouldn't be worried too much about the CPU load right now because the issue with your dry run editing extra hours was probably not the CPU or GPU, but the
Right.
memory.
Oh,
The memory leak is certainly fixed now. If you look at your memory usage there,
45%.
it's back to 45%. It was going up to 60. And so since you turned that off, now you're back to
Okay. All
44%.
right.
So
So,
I think that is the main issue we are
right.
having. Right.
Okay. Okay. So where are we starting now? What do you want me to do
Um,
here?
Alexander, I have a question about the layout in the remote control because currently we have lots of buttons, this big grid,
Yeah.
results of that we had for each row there was a video switcher and all the buttons goes to the video switcher, switching the sources. And now I'm wondering if we need to have all the buttons because in the end all the buttons will be connected to one single script, and this
Right.
can
Okay.
get very messy in the layer stack. You can
Well,
remember.
yeah. So
Um,
Aaron,
so maybe we should.
maybe,
Aaron, we still need the grid, the button grid, because you need to be able to select one of six people for each
yeah, so that's why I'm
bot.
wondering if it's feasible to have a selector for the layout. So let's say you have 2 up, 3 up, 4 up, 5 up, and 6 up. And you have to have, oh, I see. So in spot one,
You can have one of six in spot one. So you
hmm,
need to be able to
interesting.
select which one it is. So basically, we will have 36 scripts in the end that,
Hmm.
correspond to each button. So button one puts like, you know, source one in spot one and, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
And the two up basically
That's
only
very heavy.
uses the two up only uses basically the first two rows, and the three up uses the first three rows, and the four up uses the first four rows, and so on. So that
So I'm wondering if you can reduce the number of scripts if we have in the action. So each button can have multiple actions and they get performed in sequence. So the first action could trigger a certain automation layer, and the second trigger could activate another automation. So maybe the first action could be select a certain layout by ID, and the second action is which source goes into which spot. So this could reduce the amount drastically, I guess. Oh no, we need to select the layer and the spot.
yeah, I
So
think
in the
it's not.
end, this is
I
not
think the
36, but 36 times 6 or times 5
no,
doesn't work.
because no, because as you have on this now, you see on the right side, there's two up, three up, four up, five up, six up. This selects the layout, and if you choose two up, yeah, it's now the things don't work anymore. If you select two up, then um, yeah, not sure why the two up button doesn't work right now, but Yeah, just select it by hand. So yeah, turn the other one off. So now the first two lines in the buttons lets you choose which one is in spot 1 and which one is in spot 2. And if you do 6 up, then all 6 lines are used. So
How can we pull this off so it's not too many scripts, so that's
well, I think if we use one variable for each, you know, each button and turn on the script, then
so what
it's
I'm thinking currently of is could we have like 5, the first step would be have 5 uh, automation scripts that run forever, and but they are exclusive, so they are in variants, and each variant uh, exposes a global variable with the certain layer, the
the place,
split,
the
the
spot.
split. No, the split. First is this um, the split view layer. It's called. So, and then a second bunch of automation scripts do similar things, but they select the spot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and but this script needs to decide per per layer, per a split view layer, what is the ID of, oh no, it doesn't need because it's a variable. So that makes it much easier.
Yeah, so I think we have 6 variables called spot 1, spot 2, spot 3, spot 4, spot 5, spot 6, and the automation layers just put the proper source ID into spot 1 or spot 2 or spot 3. So you have 6 automation layers, and depending on which one you pick, the ID is set into the. So it's basically 6 automation layers with 6 layers with 6 variants, and all 6 of one put like another ID into the spot 1 variable. So if 1 is selected, then yeah.
Sounds good. Let's start.
Okay, let's start. Let's do this.
Okay.
Alexander,
All right.
so go to the bottom of this stack because we have to all the variables have to be expo the yeah, add a automation layer to the bottom.
And what's the significance of putting it on the bottom?
So if you have global variables, a automation layer can expose global variables. And those global variables are only available for all the layers above this single automation layer.
So I
So
would I would
it
I would
propagates only to the top from here. So it makes sense to have all the automation layers at the bottom that exposes global variables, so all the other layers can participate from it.
so what I would do now is I would call I would I would call that automation 2. I would call that spot 1.
Oliver, don't you think we should start with the layout, the actual layout layer? So we need to have a selector for the layer. And then we have a selector for the spot and a script that sets a certain source into the defined spot by
Okay.
those
Okay.
two
Yeah,
layers.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay. So I would please rename this layer to split view selector.
Split view selector.
Correct.
Okay, there we go.
So, and then you switch this to in the parameter set, switch the parameter switch layer off to manually, because this needs to run forever. And you can remove all the code from on live. Can all delete this. And then in the while live, you put in a code that's set global variable.
I think I'm just gonna, just because it's easier to read, I'm gonna write this inside of TextEdit because I can make the font bigger for everyone to see, and then I'll just copy paste like last time.
One suggestion.
Yeah.
If we need these special characters, maybe you should go for a text editor and not for text edit. You remember we had this
Oh, that's
code where
right.
you
We
had
had
to
those.
replace all the special signs.
Oh yeah, that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay, let
Smart
me.
quotes.
I don't remember if I had. Did I install text?
You BB edit,
BB
yes.
Use
BB
BB
edit.
edit. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Just yeah, make a new.
Okay, so what's the first thing that we're putting in here?
It's set global variable, or it's only set global. I can't remember. I need to
All
look it
one
up.
word.
Yes.
Okay, set global
Just a
variable.
second. Then round bracket.
Oops, that's not right.
Should I check the manual, Achim, while you're doing this?
Yeah. You need to check.
Well, I gotta make this
Just
font bigger. This font's way too small for me. Um, it's set to 18. Oh man, it looks tiny.
there we go. It's called set global only without a variable. It's just called set global. I'm sorry.
Okay, set global, and then we have parentheses there.
Yeah, just a second. I lost the screen share on my side. Here we go. Okay, so we need quotation marks, open and close, and then we have
Single
back
or single quote or double?
double. Yes, and then go back to the layer stack, find the I would say we use the split view layer with two up, and you copy the API ID. Correct.
Okay, so copy API endpoint to clipboard. Go
Yes,
back to the script.
and paste it there. Here we go. So what this does is it sets the, actually we need to have a variable at the beginning. So that's what I forgot. Sorry about that. Set global brackets, dollar sign.
In, right before the quotation.
Yes.
Okay.
Call it split view layer ID, I guess. And actually, we need a split view layer. So we know that this is a two up. Just add two up at the end and then a comma. So now,
is it case insensitive? Like, could I make some of this uppercase so that it reads better?
oh, absolutely, you can do camel casing, but we are case sensitive, so you need to use the same case in the other scripts.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just leave it.
But still, I agree with you that
It's just harder to
um,
read that way.
yeah, so you can easily camel case this and then copy and paste the variable name anyways. So that's what I do. And please add a comma after the two up before the quotation marks.
Comma before. Sorry, say that again. Before.
After two up, comma, and before the quotation marks,
In
right?
space,
A
comma
space
space, yeah.
is nice, not necessary, but also helps
Makes
for
it easier
reading.
to lead. Yeah.
So again, so what this does is it sets a global variable called split view layer 2 up. The content of that variable will be the API endpoint of that layer. So we can use this variable already in other uh, automation scripts. It will show up there automatically, so we don't need to define it or anything else. And so we can use this variable from start. Oh, actually, I'm totally sorry. So that's why it's called development, right? Um, Please remove the two up, of course, because the two up, we don't distinguish between the different endpoints anymore. So we just want to have one ID and we use that and we use different automation variants right now in a second to put in different IDs into the same variable. So we can switch between different um, targets here, layer targets, and the variables is still the same name. So maybe you want to put a comment into that so you know this is the idea of the layer to up. Or actually, there's a better way again to make this work. And I'm just wondering if we going to use this or keep it simple. So let's let it this way. And in
Can I
the
just put the comment? Is it just two forward slashes?
correct,
So I can just put a slash like that and my notes in
right,
there.
right.
And then what do you think makes best sense to?
Yeah, to put in layer ID 2 up, for example. So yeah, that's okay. So let's copy this script and put it in the automation layer we started with. Oh, this is
And this would be
a
while
way.
live.
Yeah, correct.
And can you just quickly explain the difference between on live, while live, and when or when not to use either or?
Sure. So in if the automation layer is switching off automatically, so the default we got earlier, then the script will just runs once and it will stop. So that will stop when the script is finished. In this case here, we switched the layer option to manually, which means that you, as the user, has to switch off the layer. And the script, which is in the place of on live, will be executed just when you hit the live button. Then after this script is finally processed, then the while script will endlessly be repeated on its own. So you don't have to put in a loop on your own. And
Right.
whenever
That makes
you
sense.
switch off the layer, the while script will be canceled and it will run the turn off script. However, how long this will take. So it depends, of course, on the script, what's happening there, but it's a different functionality opposed to just one button and shoot and forget.
Okay.
So in our case, we just want to have this selector. So once this layer and this variant is started, the while live will be repeatedly executed and will set the global variable uh, all the time. So the next thing, I see what we can do is in the layer stack, the automation layer is called split view selector, and we have variant one. So you can replace, please rename the variant one to actually two up, or yeah, two up would be fine. So this is the, I'm sorry, you're just replacing the name of the layer, but I meant to you to replace the variant one name. It's just below. I guess this is doesn't
How do
work.
you yeah, I don't know how to rename selected var layer. Yeah, got it.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So and we're going to call this 2 up.
That's interesting. Doesn't
Didn't do
work.
anything. Doesn't
So
work.
you can double click on variant one name. I guess that's the easiest one. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so now that variant will select the two up and put the layer ID in that specific global variable. Now
Okay.
go ahead and duplicate this variant with the plus button in the parameter view uh, right there. So now we have a copy of that, and you can immediately replace it with 4 up, or I guess is the next one. Or do we have 3 up? I can't remember.
I think there is a 3. Yeah, there is 2,
Yeah.
3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6.
Okay, so
And just for consistency, Alex, in the layers above, you wrote up with two uppercases, and you
Yes, I
write up
did
with,
notice that.
yeah.
Thank you. I should actually just I don't know why I wrote uppercase. Just thought it looked better.
More forceful. Up, up.
Exactly. It's up. It's really up. All right, last one. That's gonna be 6. Okay, now we got all our scripts.
okay, so now you can go through all the automation scripts and replace in the comment the name and of course all the IDs.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna go copy API endpoint, just like we just did.
Yeah, and maybe you want to do all of the IDs first, so we have them all here.
I
Because it
see what you're
would
saying.
be very tedious to always scroll
Yeah.
around.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so that's number 1.
Oh, actually, this is already 3.
That's 3. Oh yeah,
3
that's
up.
3. Okay, so there's 4. It's 5. Interesting how I don't know if there's any BB edit users there, but if you hit the enter key on the numerical side of the numpad on the keyboard, it doesn't work, but only the enter key in the middle works for a new line. I don't know why
Okay.
that is. That's weird. Okay, so that was 3, 4, 5. Now we need 6. There we go. Okay, so I'm taking 3. I'm going to replace this string right up to
Oh,
the.
hold on.
Is that right?
Between quotation marks.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, we need split view layer ID. That has to be defined. So let me replace that. There we go. So now I can just copy this back into my variant and replace that with that, and then rinse and repeat until we are done. So that was 3. Now this is 4. There we go. Layer 4 up. Oh, extra slash. Let's get rid of that. Copy paste. Let's go to 5. There's 5. All right, that's the last one.
Oh, you need a quotation mark at the end before the end bracket.
Did I delete the quotation mark?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Whoa, that's not what I want. Puts an extra quotation in there. Oh, why is it not letting me do that?
That's super stupid smart quotes.
Yeah, I wonder if I just now delete the other quote, if I just select, and if I go quote, okay, that fixes it. That's annoying. There we go. Okay, so that's the last one.
Nice. So now, if you select one of the layers and switch this the variant, then it will select in this global variable, it will select a certain layer. It doesn't do anything right now, but yeah. The point is also by having variants in that automation, it will exclusively run one of those automation layers, not all at the same time. So we can't confuse our program. Okay, so now the next step would be to have a similar automation layer and again have multiple variants that does select the spot. And the spot is just a variable name or a field name of the parameter of the split view layer. So
Right.
Alexander, go ahead and add a new automation layer, please.
Okay. I'm just
That
sticking it at the
goes,
bottom.
actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. I guess we will, um, yeah, rename that to spot selector. And in the automation is also a manual. Switch manual, please, again. Manually. So now we need to look up the variable name of that spot. And I would suggest that you,
Achim,
here we
um,
go.
wouldn't it make sense to have a global variable called spot1 and then just assign the source to spot1 and the source to spot2, the source ID to spot1 to spot2, and then have a different script that then uses whatever you selected for spot 1 in the spot 1 of the 2-up, and whatever you selected in spot 2 and spot 2 of the 2-up.
But then you would have the grid. So
yeah, we want the grid. We want the grid because you want to be able to say, I want 1 in 1 and 4, the guy in 1 and Alex in 2.
Yeah, I mean, we would have to have all the automations for each button 1. But what I'm after is we are going to have one action in the remote control will trigger 2 automations one after the other. So the grid itself at the buttons will decide which script to run. And then we have all the possibilities and all the options we want to have.
Okay.
So in that split view selector, we have a split view selector, we have the spot selector, right? So in the spots, we were to find out what the spot 1 variable is called, so we can address it and change the value. So to do so, select any of the, or go ahead and select this split view up 6 up, please. So we see all the sources below. So if you scroll down, there's the content, and then there's source A, B, C, D, and so on. And if you right click on the name source A, you should get a context menu. Just on source A, the name of the parameter.
The label.
The label, right. Doesn't give you the option. So maybe on the, here we go. Yes, so that's what we are after. And oh, I'm sorry. Is it source A API key? Yeah,
We
go
need
ahead.
to set. We need to later set the to fill that with spot 1, right?
Let's see what we got. Just paste in. Let's see what the result is. Yeah, that's what we need. Right, that's the right variable field name actually, and we want in the script. So it's very easy. It's just the A, B, C, and so on. So this it's not too complicated. And the script below. So if you have layer ID 6 up, I would rename the comment in line 24, 25. Okay. Yeah, those are the fields. Right. And okay, so in line 27, you can change the comment to split view spot 1, for example. Or yeah, it's 1. And you fill in and the global in line 29, the variable split view layer ID, I would replace it to spot field. Or should we rename it to some property name? So it should be split view image input, I think. Yeah. Can you just rename as a spot field to actually split view image input? Because the content of that variable will define on which image input we are working on. So instead of all the API key stuff in quotation marks, you just put in, for example, line 11, TV in, video source, A image. So you can replace that with the API key. All right, that looks like we got
Do we need
this.
the quotation marks there?
Yes. It's still a string, a text, and that goes into the variable split view image input. Okay, so you can guess what you have to do. Put in all the variables while live, but I guess it's this is much easier because you don't have to copy and paste. You just have to rename the comment to spot 1, 2, 3, 4, and the image source is A, B, C, D. So it should be fairly easy.
Okay, done.
Okay, so now you need to update the scripts as well. In the script, there's always, currently it's only
you have to replace one letter. You don't have to copy and paste. Go into mimoLive and only replace the letter A, B, C in each layer.
maybe so this is spot 2, and the layer needs to be B, right? And if you want to be very picky, you also have to update the comment above.
I'll do that too.
Okay.
Spot 1, spot 2. Okay. Let's do that now.
And did you do a save as, or did you?
I did say, well, I did a save as, but I'm not working on that. I'm working on the original. So the one that I saved, I guess, is the original before all these changes.
I think the logic works quite. Isn't it so that if you say save as, you stay in the document that you saved as, and then basically this is the next
anyway,
document?
So,
yeah.
I guess maybe that's why the button failed to work, because the ID changed, the document ID. Oliver, can you remember? We talked this with
Yep.
our developers. So, okay, next step. So, so the idea is that the split view selector automation and the spot selector together would define which layer and which spot. Now we need to have another bunch of automation layers that will actually put in the certain source to that defined spot. And
got it.
So I would again add a new automation layer and call this, call it.
This needs to go
Source
above the other
setter.
two.
Correct. So rename this to source setter. So this will actually do the work. And that's getting a little bit complicated, I guess. So let's see. Again, scroll up to the 6th up source, and again right click on the source A label. Does it do the trick here? Copy URL to change source A. So this is the third one. We want to have the third one. And this if you go look at it in BB Edit, what's look like. So this is an URL that will actually update this source or the selection of spot 1 to a certain source. So currently it fills in the current one, the current source. And we want to create this URL with the variables we got set by the other automation layers and calculate this URL to actually find the correct layer and the correct spot in the field to update with a certain source. So, one thing we found out is that this command, the copy URL to change a value, actually has a flaw. So we need to fix that first. Do you see the etched, I don't know, the brackets, input values? That's about in the third line at the beginning, fields, and then brackets, input values. How are those brackets called?
Well, those are brackets. The round ones are parentheses. Those.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
So brackets. Here we go.
Those are real brackets.
I see. So please replace the first bracket with a URL encoding percentage 5b for beta. Yes. And the closing one is percentage 5d for delta. So this is a bug, and hopefully we in the next
can you
beta.
please make them uppercase?
Oh yeah. So in the next beta, this will be fixed. Okay, so now we know the variables we set earlier contains all that layer API to and variant stuff. So we want to replace this all that with a variable. I'm sorry. So maybe I can switch on painting so I can show you where to start. Here we go. Annotate. Is this correct? Yes. So, so we will build a string, and so please go to the beginning of line 24 and add the command concat. So concatenation, then parenthesis, opening, and the variable where this goes into, let's say $, update URL, comma, double quotation, and now we start with HTTP double point / and so on until 8989. So that's out here. And after 8989, you can put in again a double quotation to close the text without the backslash the slash before the I'm sorry, can I remove this? I can. Okay, go ahead and put in the quotation marks before that. Yeah, right. All right, that's just fine with me. After the quotation marks, you will add the variable. That's, for example, also we do this with a plus sign, and then the variable is $split view layer ID. then plus sign again, double quotation marks. And now you can get rid all of the API and so on until the question mark in the second line, the end of the second line, just before the question mark. Yeah, this can all be done. Now, all this must stay.
Losing, you're breaking up, Oliver. Can you repeat that?
That's because I stayed on the button. So I would add spaces around the plus sign so we can more easily see where this where the variable names end and.
That good, or you want more space?
Yeah, more space around. So one space before and one space behind. So, okay.
So now we see that you are in the variable name at the beginning of the command, you put in a space as well. So that doesn't, this can't be there. So $ update URL. So there's a space in it. Right. Okay, so now we see, Oliver. No, you're muted again.
Where does the one come from? That's before the include. That shouldn't be there.
Right. Interesting.
Huh.
Good point. So in this, at the end of the second line, you see there is the name of the field, and we want to replace that. So there's equals TV and so on until the end. Yeah, you can remove this and start end the current string with a double quotation mark, then space plus space. And we will fill in the variable that holds the field name.
You still need the equal sign?
Yes. So no space there. Can you just quotation marks? It's important to have no space there. And if you delete the second quotation mark, I guess it will just have one left. So here we go. So now add a space, plus, again space, and then the variable name, it's split view image input, just from line 29. You can copy and paste that. Oh, thanks to BB Edit, we actually have code completion. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So just after the input you entered here, there needs to be another, and the end sign needs to be in the string, right? Just after the variable input. Then I have a space, plus again, and double quotation marks. So, okay. And actually you need to remove one quotation mark again.
Yeah. And also there's really a $sign missing before the split image view input.
There you go. So let me see, there's another video source A image in there. So you can, what you can do is you can copy all of that text, including this quotation mark, and then replace this second name appearance here.
Well, replace it with what?
With that, what you just copied. So this all that. So because we want to replace this again.
Okay,
And
copy that. Okay.
right.
And then this TV in video
Source
source
image
A
A. Here we
image,
go.
that's going.
Yeah.
That's going away.
Well, let's see. Oh, we deleted too much.
Oh,
The numbers needs to stay. Percentage needs to stay. Here we go.
okay.
And paste. Yeah, that's what I'm after. Okie dokie. So, and then after the percentage 22 until the percentage 2022, this is the actual source ID. And I guess for so that we can work this better out, I guess we should put in another variable at this point, because then we have easy access and better visuals to see what do we do that this way.
Okay.
I guess so. Yeah. Again, you can remove this or all of that. So percent 22 is an URL encoded a quotation mark. So actually this text you just selected will be in quotation marks in the URL at the end.
Okay, so I'm
Okay,
just deleting this.
yes. So it needs to have percent 22, percent 22, right. And now you can have a double quotation mark again. Now
Right
we
here in the middle.
right. Now you can actually just type on with space plus space. Have a new variable name like source ID.
Okay. Does it need the
So
dollar sign?
dollar sign source ID. And again, space plus space. Perfect. And in the end, after percent 70, a quotation mark, double quotation mark, a single one. So perfect. So, and closing parenthesis. Yes. So this is a lot of stuff, and I hope it makes sense if we read it from the beginning. So line 24, the command is concatenate. This will combine a lot of text to a single string. The variable that is actually storing the result is update URL, and then all the text starts with HTTP and so on. It adds the split view layer ID, it adds some parameters, then again it will add the input field name we set up in the variable. Don't know exactly why it's twice in there, but certainly it needs to be like this. And then in the end, we use source ID to make this complete. And hopefully this URL will actually update a certain spot in a certain layer to a certain source ID. So now what we need to add is a source ID. The variable source ID need to be filled out. I would suggest that you put in line 23 a new command, set variable. Yeah,
Okay.
parenthesis, opening,
Yeah. No space.
no space. So I mean, it depends. So, yeah, programming code with functions, you won't put a space in there. So then the variable is a dollar sign source ID, a comma, and double quotation marks. So we will now find the source ID for the first source. So the actual source, the zoom source, we need to have the ID of the zoom source. And so it's again, as always, go ahead in mimoLive, find the first source in your Zoom. Actually, it's need to be the actual source in the source column. Here we go. This also has an API endpoint. Unfortunately, this will include all the API slash and so on. And we just need the end part of that. So if you just paste it anywhere and we see, so we need only the end part, right? So you can get rid of all that. Very good. And this goes in here between the quotation marks. So I think this should do it. And I guess we should test it. So we are sure that this works.
That sounds like a pretty good idea.
And of course, we need to have a command to execute this HTTP request. And the command is you can add it in line 26. In line 26.
26. So right in front of the quote.
Actually, it's 3 lines below. You see, this is one line and line 26.
There.
Here
I was
we
wondering
go.
why is that dot dot dot?
Yeah, it's one big line.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the command is HTTP request parenthesis, and we want to execute a $update URL. Here we go. So this should actually perform the change. So now you can copy all that and put it in a new script. Did we already add a new automation layer? We did so. There was a source setter above, the third layer from the bottom. Always, it will actually be automatically because this only executed once. So you can remove all that script and replace it with our new one. So now you can manually go to the spot selector and to the split view selector and switch one of those live. And now you can click on the source. Here we go. And then we need to see if the spot one of 2 up is changing actually. So maybe you switch on the spot, the 2 up first. So you see what's happening. And is it already Jamal, the first one?
Yeah, it's already Jamal. So we need to switch it to someone else.
Switch it to someone else. It's already the Syphon. So you may select the Zoom source Annika, for example. Sumizer. Here we go. So now just go and start the source setter. Yeah. Here we go. And it works.
Yay.
I knew that was all done for a reason.
Yeah. So now we need to have 6 or even, you have 6 Zoom sources, right? So we need to have 6 copies of that very script. And put in source 1, source 2, source 3, or what, yeah.
Done.
Okay, so source 2 needs to get a new source ID. The rest will be the same, so that's quite fine. And again, we need to extract only the last part of that API endpoint.
There we go. That should do it, right?
Correct. The rest of the script is already dynamic and doesn't need to have changes.
So that should work if I just hit live.
Correct.
Oh, look at that.
Nice. So you can try to select a different spot for her and switch the spot selected to spot 2, for example, and then hit the first hit the source 1 button again, variant again. So this should put
Yeah,
Jamal
it
into
works.
spot 2. So that seems
Good
to work.
stuff. Okay. Well, I think the rest of this is probably pretty straightforward. Now I just need to grab the next ID, API endpoint, and so on and so forth for each Zoom source, right?
Correct.
So I'll go and do that now. Let's just get these updated here. Okay, so that should be 3.
No, stay on the spot 2, because you don't have a spot 3 in this layout.
Okay, got it.
There you go.
Okay, so on to 4. Okay, that works. Okay, almost done. Let's go to Sarah. Good. So that's all 6.
Perfect. So let's see.
Just a question, Alex. I believe you also have a layout for one-up with screen share or one-up with presentation.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Where do we have to add this as well?
Yeah, that's this presenter layer. I don't know. Are we keeping that?
Right now, I don't know exactly how that will incorporate, but still you have set the maybe we need to have a different set of automation scripts.
You still have the full screen layers, which you have for full screen, and then that's basically full. You select basically full screen layer for this person and the presenter 2D That is, I think, easier for now than to make another automation for that.
Because the presenter 2D uses layers below, right?
Yes, and there's a full screen layer below where you can just click on Jamal, for example. Yeah. So that's the presenter 2D full screen. Now you go to presenter 2D and turn that on. And then, I mean, you need to have a source for the screen share, which you don't have now.
Which we don't have, yeah.
Yeah. What's the automation at the top doing?
I'm trying to figure
Oh,
that out.
that's
Is that
the
this?
that's the lower third thing, right? So
That's the. Okay, got it. Can I? Does it have to stay at the top? Can I move it
I
down
don't
to
think
where the
so.
others? Can I just? I just want. I'd rather organize this and put this at the bottom where the other scripts are.
I'm not sure if that is that the lower third thing?
I think it is. Concat. This is all. Yeah, Zoom sort. This is all the stuff that we worked out.
Mm-hmm.
I just
And
didn't
I
name
think,
it. I
Oliver,
thought
you
I.
said, I think you said it has to stay on top to work, but I don't recall anymore why.
As long as it is not depending on any global variables, it could go to the bottom. And I guess we didn't put in there any of global variables for now.
I think the next
Let's
step would
let's
be
test
to
it.
set up uh, buttons, right, to
In the
fill the
remote
spots.
control. Yeah. So unfortunately, this is completely broken. Maybe it would help if you restart. Yeah, try reload this. That's could probably fix the issue.
Go back
Now
to
see.
Because
documents.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's fixing the issue.
I see. Yeah, sounds good. Looks good.
But now we have to make to change the buttons in the in the metrics, right?
Yeah, could
Right.
be fun.
So I guess because we're not going to use. I guess all of these are going to go away. These video switchers, right?
Actually, we can utilize them in.
Would it make sense to? Why don't I just create a new control surface and start over? Because we're making major changes here.
Yeah, that's a good, probably a good idea. So let's start and
And actually, in terms of how small I need to make the grid, I don't know how many buttons. If I'm gonna need a lot of buttons like that other one, I'm probably gonna make this like 30 or 40 by 40 to fit all those buttons on there again. Because the default is you can't put much in the way of buttons with the
sure.
8 by 8.
I guess it doesn't hurt if you put more columns or rows there. I mean, one thing to remember is that once you get to reduce the size of your control surface, it always will crop it from the bottom
I
right.
I I did notice that, yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't think we
start,
need more buttons than we did before. We just need the same 6 rows of buttons.
yeah, but again, let's just start and see.
So I guess do I need I need all the split screen buttons, right?
Actually, the first thing I would suggest would be to have all the variants of the the automation layer selector. So split view selector, that's here, and then all variants. Right. So this will select in which layout you're working. This
This is the always frustrating part with
yeah.
this small grid.
Actually, I didn't know that you can change the button while editing it. That's interesting.
I guess now we lose the automatic naming of the buttons, right?
I think we ran into that last time.
So maybe
Yeah,
we
it
should
could
start
could
putting buttons in with the from the oh no, yeah. Once we add an action, the automatic thing goes away anyway.
yeah.
Okay.
So let's see how we can. I mean, I guess the first thing would be actually to have this have a custom button to trigger two actions at the same time. So that's a interesting part, I guess. So now, because those buttons you just added will select which layout you're working on, right? So now we need to
Right.
have the grid. We can have which source goes into which spot. I mean, actually, you can have, if you want to, just to have again a selector for the spot. So you need to select them in sequence. But I don't know if that is something you want to do so.
Hmm. I'll have to think about that. I mean, nothing's really set in stone. I often end up making as I'm doing this and putting things together. I make changes sometimes after putting it all together and realize that's not the best, most efficient way. So I kind of think I just need to get some basic framework for like just get all the buttons on the page and then start moving stuff around, see what makes sense.
Yeah, but I guess what I meant was this is a different approach. So you see, currently, or the first control panel you did had this big grid because you want to select a source to a spot, and that makes a row and a column, and you need to find that single button on that grid.
Yeah.
So now you have the opportunity to have only the selector, which spot, and below that you have the button which source you want to put in there. So you go, first row is select the layout, second row is select the spot, and third row is
Right.
select the
Right.
source. And that, but then you need to go through every selection, but that you
Hmm.
have much less buttons.
It
Okay.
is much easy, Achim, it is much better to have the grid because it's you can make sure that you don't have two people in the same layout twice because you just move you just
And if it's just one button to assign a source to a spot, it's not, you have to select the spot and the source. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe quite faster, but then we have to create all the
Okay, so
buttons.
I'm gonna have to add all the split views, and then you're suggesting that below the split view selector, I need to add the button that would choose the spot and then another row that would be the source, right?
Yeah, was one suggestion, but yeah, in the end, depends on what the workflow is and how you want to design and how fast you need to be. And maybe uh, for testing this, we may just add 2 or 3 buttons off the grid so we can see if that actually works. Because the setup of those buttons is a bit complicated. Need to have to more work on it. So let's try that. Just add a custom button by pressing the plus add button and scroll down to custom.
Okay.
So this button will set one source to spot 1. Source 1 to spot 1. Yeah, right. And I guess you want to make it a little bit bigger. Now we need to have the actions. And the first action is we need to have this spot selector because the layer selector is the split view selector you already have. That's the top row. And now we need to select
Right.
the
I
spot.
follow you.
You go in the automation action, actually. And so are we already in the automation layers?
No, I
So
don't think
just scroll
so.
down all to the automation. We need, here we go. So that's the spot selector, right? And now we need to have the variant spot 1. So this should, and set this to live. That's important.
Okay.
Now the second action will be the setter. And we also have the setter information, and we want to have the source 1 there. And toggle this live. So that is live, yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I'm following.
so actually we can just test this. Would be cool if it works out of the box.
Well, what am I calling? What am I calling this?
Okay, source 1's spot 1. However, this will be will be shown as text in the button. So maybe I don't know if this is what you will have in the end. Not quite sure. So now we need to set up mimoLive so we can see if something is actually happening. Currently you're in full screen. You have activated the full screen layer. I guess you need to switch in mimoLive. You have to switch off the full screen and switch on, let's say, the layer, the 2-up layer. And the full screen switch off,
I guess
2-up layer. Here we go.
I guess I'm gonna have to set up. I guess I need layer stack, a layer set, right?
No, it's fine. So how it is. So as it is, please go ahead and select the 2-up layer in mimoLive directly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So now switch the source A to someone else because yeah. And now head back to the remote control. Select this. You need to select the first the split view selector. Yeah, here we go. And now you can select source 1 and this should switch it. Yeah,
It worked.
so this worked. That's nice. So now you can add 36 buttons or 35 buttons again to have the combination source 1, spot 2, source 1, spot 3, and so on. So that's the tedious
The only
part here.
question is, can I do this without? Because I don't want to have to scroll. Like I could see this getting. That's a lot of buttons.
Yeah, it's exactly the same amount as he has on the first remote
Okay,
control.
with the video switcher.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, I got a question. Um, do you think you will ever have layouts where you have in box one a different person, regardless if it's a 1-up, 2-up, 3-up, or 4-up? So I would think if you have like the host in one and the reader in
Yeah,
two, so you could
exactly.
maybe you could have buttons that set globally which source is in which box, and so you wouldn't need as much buttons at all.
Right. Yeah,
So the
because
button
the way I kind of envisioned it is that the like in a 2-up, for example, like this the host would always be on the left, and then
exactly,
usually the
yeah,
question reader is probably going to be on the right. However, there are instances where, for example, like when Grant starts the show, oftentimes like the way if you just look at the way they cut the show right now, oftentimes they'll start the show, they'll start full screen, but then they go to a 2-up, and it's the host in the left, and then Grant says hello to every single panelist, and they're switching on the right hand side. That person is probably changing to whoever he's talking to, right? So I
yeah,
still need
exactly.
I need a way to be able to change that person on the other
Yeah,
picture in
so
picture.
but if you have like buttons for yeah, you would at least need 36 buttons. So one button to set each panelist to box 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, regardless of which set layout they're
Yeah,
in. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well let's just add. I guess let's just add them and see. Um, let's just see how this thing looks. I'll probably have
Well,
to make some.
if you are defining that one spot is always the host,
Yeah.
then you need only like 30 buttons because then the host is always in spot one,
Okay.
and you don't need to set that. You don't need to have the
Yeah, because I'm
combination.
not going to change. Yeah, because I'm not going to
Yeah,
change that person.
yeah, exactly. So you
Only
could,
if the host drops and you need an alternate host. Just
yes,
Oh, that's a
saying.
good
exactly.
Just
point.
saying.
That's a good point. I should probably have that button in there in case that happens, because I don't want to be caught in a situation where I can't change them easily.
Yeah, but spot, yeah, yeah, exactly.
But if you
Okay.
have a row or a column for all sources that says make this person host regardless of the layer set, and this would be very quick. The split view. Yeah, so we can. So I guess what Andre was suggesting is that one button. So we get rid of the layout selector actually and set all of the layouts, all the split views at the same time.
Okay.
So
So
if you
delete this
just
row of buttons, these buttons here.
for now, I would keep it for now
Okay.
because the code would be completely different. So we need to think about that code. But for now, I would stick with this.
So these are changing between split view, like 2-up, 3-up, all the different layouts, right? So
Right.
I'll just call this 2-up.
Well, what this allows you to do now is that you can actually uh, pre-select
Pre-con.
what's gonna be in who's gonna be in spot 1 to 6 before you actually switch on the layer.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can use those.
Yeah, I'm using a companion layout with vMix that somebody created that lets me like select layout, for example, 2-up, select box 1, and then select panelist to this box. And so I have a matrix of, I think, 18 buttons that can place every panelist in every layout.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what Achim
Interesting.
suggested before, but I think it's like that requires you to do more work in your brain than to have a matrix. But yeah, but
Yeah,
it
copy.
depends
Yeah.
on what you like better. But now we could do this because we could say, the first row is I select the layout, the second row I select the spot, and the third row I select who goes into the spot I selected in the second, and then you have to dial in, like press 12 buttons to dial in 6 people. And
Yeah.
you don't get a preview. So you don't see who when you make a mistake.
Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Because this button looks different than what did I select wrong here? Toggle layer live split view. So that's the script, right?
Yes, that's a variant. So I guess you don't need this button at the end, or do you? What do you want to do with this?
Um, no, I'm confused now.
You have only 2, 3, 4,
You
5,
have you have three up
5.
twice. That's the
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3, 4,
3,
5,
3.
6. Oh, whoops.
So this is 3. Let's keep it 3. That's 3.
now you have
Actually,
two up
that's
twice.
Oh, okay. I see what I've done. I see. Sorry. Four, 5, 6. Okay. And these buttons are triggering the spot selector. That's the script, right?
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. Okay, so source spot 1. So that's down here. And this is the source setter. Is that what we're putting in here?
What are you going to do? The next button?
Yeah.
So the next button, you need to have a custom button again.
Oh, it's custom.
Unfortunately, you need to start the custom button and then add 2 actions to it. The first action is the spot selector. You need to select the spot 2, set it live, and the second action is
Source setter, I guess, right?
source setter, source 1.
Source 2.
No, it's actually source 1. So we're in a row 1.
Row 1. No, sorry. I'm lost. I thought we just did one. Spot 1. Source 1.
Yeah, well,
So,
yeah, you
You
have
can
to
only increase one number in a row, either source or spot. So you selected the spot 2 right now, and you want to put in source 1 into spot 2. So you need to have select source 2, source 1, and set this live. Right, so this is the title should be source 1 spot 2.
source one.
Yeah.
So this button puts the source one into the spot 2.
And the next button
okay.
will again put the source 1 into spot 3 then
Yeah,
But you
okay.
have to
Now,
decide if you want to have the people in
in the
the
row
rows or in the
or the spot.
columns.
So
You
so
know what I
now we
mean?
have the
you're talking about the design of the interface?
Yes.
yes.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
source one is going to be guy, right? So you have
Yeah.
one row of guys, and you can decide if he goes into spot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you have rows for one row
Yeah,
for
I
spot one,
understand what
and
you're
then
saying. I
yeah.
understand what you're saying.
And
Yeah.
now
So
I see the confusion because the video switcher approach was that each column was one source, what was
Hmm.
one source, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that
now
was
you're
what
switching it
we
around
yeah.
in the other dimension.
I got to think about that. Let me just add these buttons for now, just so we keep things moving here. So
And I got a different question, a difficult question as well. Is it possible to have the names populate on the buttons with
I think we
variables?
talked about that last time.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't there last time.
Um, I don't think you can. I think that was one of the things that, right, guys?
You
That
still source one, spot three.
Yeah, Andre, unfortunately, currently you can't put in the name for yourself.
Copy that.
Probably in the next version of the remote control surface.
okay. So first select the source and then the spot in the order of actions. Is that right? Source then spot,
First spot and then source.
Yeah,
spot
you
and
need to
then
select the source
source.
first, the spot first, and then it's a spot 3
Spot 3 and then set live and then source
setter,
setter source
source 1.
1
Right.
set live. Yeah, this is a lot of work to design
Yeah.
this. It's a lot of clicking.
All
Okay.
right. I think we are approaching the 2 hour mark.
Yeah. Do we want to test this just quickly just to see if this
Yeah,
does
yeah,
anything?
yeah.
So we're on a 2 up right now. So if I go source 1 spot 1, okay, yeah, okay, so I see.
Yeah, you
Spot
don't have
3
a
and
spot three,
I
so
don't
that
have a spot
wouldn't do
3,
anything.
so it's not gonna.
Yeah, you have
Right.
to go to three up and then
But how come these don't do anything when I select these?
because they're not switching to the layout, so you need to have another set of buttons that actually switches to that layout. So what this
This
And
allows
is
you
that
to
would
the
be
do
a.
is you can
Oh, this
pre-select
is
the
like a
spots
this is like a preview bus in a way.
exactly,
Yeah.
just
So and I
so you
need.
don't see it.
Yeah, and so I should probably create, I guess, layer sets, right? So the layer set would switch that layer on that split screen, but then turn off anything else that should be off, right?
if we want to switch to this 2 up or 3 up, then this would be the right thing. However, we already have, I guess we have the layer sets already. So the only thing you need to do is in the layer sets, you need to add the selector of the layer and make this live.
I guess you know what? Let me just clean this up. I don't need, so I can just delete these, right? All this Syphon
Yes.
stuff. So like in the Syphon spots, all that's gonna just get rid of that.
Yeah.
Can I multi-select? Can I shift click and delete layers, or I have to go one by one?
You need to go one by one.
Okay. Come on. Oh, so many switchers. So many switchers. Okay, there. And then now I got to update these layer sets. And we are going to automation scripts.
You split
Oh,
view selector, it's below.
split view
Yeah,
selector. That's got to be live.
live. Right. And you need to select the variant 2 up. Yes, fine.
And so on and so forth. Split view selector number variant 4. Five, and the last one's 6. Okay, so I wonder now if does that work?
Maybe we removed all the video switcher layers, so and the Syphon sources. Currently, there are
Yeah,
only
so
the
I have to
Syphon sources.
reset.
So go ahead and select the third up layer and go to the remote control and use the remote control to do so. To do
Yeah, but
actually
I
the
also need to go in here and get rid. Now
No,
these
no, no,
sources
no,
are
no, 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 no. You don't have to because you're replacing them with the selector. So if you go and press on the layer set for 3 up, go on the layer
layer
set
set
for
for
3
3.
it,
Okay, yeah.
we call that, and now go to your remote control, and then you can press the source 1 spot 3 and source 1 spot 2 and buttons, and then he will show up in all 3.
Right.
Ah, this is working.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you look at these split screens in the
Yeah, you
layer
don't have
stack, you
to.
notice how the sources
Yeah,
are all empty.
yeah, you don't have to put any there because you
I
will
don't.
be assigning them dynamically anyway.
So this I don't
Yeah,
even need this anymore. This can just be empty.
yeah.
but it will be filled by the automation
Right.
scripts. Anyway, so
This is black magic sorcery is what we have here. Okay, guys, this is great.
Yeah, so I think we should probably leave it here,
Absolutely.
and you will do the details, and we'll reconvene. Let me see if I
I'll
can do Thursday.
Yeah. I should be able to do
Um,
Thursday. I just need to work. So what I'll do this week is over the course of the next couple of days, I will work on the remote interface. So I'll have when we come back, this will all be done basically. So and then we can continue from there. So
okay.
the only other thing that I guess we need to talk about a solution for bringing in questions into the show because I have no control over the Makana instance there, and I haven't heard back from the developer that maintains it about adding your suggestion. And for those that don't know, we were trying to see if there was a way through the lower thirds. It's just an HTML link, so we were using the browser source inside of mimoLive to basically bring in the questions. And what we were hoping is maybe we could add something at the end of that URL that says equals transparency or something like that to make it show up. Because the way it's set up right now is that those questions that come in via the lower third are on a chroma green, so we would need to key it out. And I think Oliver, you were suggesting that I shouldn't waste resources. Adding a keyer in mimoLive would add too many CPU cycles for this, you think?
It's certainly adding some. If it's too many, I can tell you.
But the
But
question is if I have no other choice. Like I just need to know like how
yeah, then
can we make it
yeah, you
work?
just
That's the
add
thing.
like where you add the FX button,
Right?
and you go add chroma keying basic, I think. Aren't basic is the correct one. If I have a unified green background,
you can use the Keying
the
Pro,
key
because
pro.
the Key Pro actually depends on even
Okay.
lit green. So
And then you need to have the actual, signal so you can set
Right.
up whatever
But how
whatever
would you
green they
set this?
chose.
Because I don't understand. I don't really understand how this stuff works, so I don't know.
so
Yeah,
maybe this is up for the next
Okay, well
without
we'll leave
the
it.
without a real signal, we can't really
Right, we
tell
can't
you.
test it anyways. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, I have my own Makana instance. So
Well,
what we'll do is,
if you do a screenshot next time they do this from
yeah,
whatever comes in to the
yeah.
green thing.
Well, we can
Um,
test it. We can do this on Thursday
well,
because
you
I
can.
have my own instance, and we can. What
Oh,
I
we
could
can
do
turn it
is,
on.
Yeah, I can turn it on. I could just put a test question in there myself on
Well,
Thursday.
we can turn on the green background. I mean,
Yeah, we can turn it on and then we can work
okay.
through that. I think that'll be good for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
okay.
Well, over to
Awesome.
you, Oliver.
All right. Yeah. So that is going to be it for today. We are aiming for next Thursday. I think 9 a.m. No, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Alex?
It would have to be no, because I can't make that time. It'd have to be right after office hours ends, which would be 8 a.m. Pacific on a
Okay.
Thursday.
Oh, let's
And
aim
I've
for
only
that.
got yeah, let's aim for that. I've only got about an hour on Thursday. I can't do 2 hours, so
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Yeah, so hope to see most of you there. Thanks for joining today. And I'm gonna stop the recording now. So thank you very much for coming.